All right, welcome back. As usual, we always get the chairperson, which in this case is the new chairwoman of the Terrebonne Parish Council, Jessica Domangue. She's also the councilwoman for District Number 5. So, Jessica, good to have you back. How are you?
Thanks. Good to see you again,
I
Martin.
saw you enjoying yourself downtown this weekend.
I did. We had a good event. It was the Rotary Cast Iron Cook-Off, and it was just so wonderful to see so many people. I don't think I've ever seen that many people actually participate in a cook-off, and so it was really, really nice.
I was watching the B-roll in my office this morning. Jen had shot it, and the food was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. I only ate like 5 things, and I couldn't eat any more because there was so much. And I think there was 33 teams, so I couldn't imagine how they made their decision.
I mentally ate 50 things in my office this morning. All right, so look, you're taking over and you're doing your thing. Let's talk about condemnations first, because that seems to be a pretty big deal with some people not quite knowing what to do, when to do, how to do it. So maybe you could lead us down that road.
Yeah, Martin, and it seems like it's gotten to be a bigger deal ever since the hurricane, because, we have all these dilapidated structures and all these damaged structures that have just been sitting, it seems, since the hurricane. And so we really have been trying to be as proactive as possible to be able to process some of those things. And since we have our condemnation hearings tonight, which we have 4 times a year, so every 3 months we have a condemnation hearing. And since we have those hearings tonight, I thought it would be a really good opportunity to provide some education on kind of how we go through that process.
Yeah, but so let's do that, because it's confusing. And if you talk to different people, not necessarily in government, people that think they know about condemnations, you get all kind of different answers. So maybe bring us in the right general direction.
Okay, definitely. So the first thing that happens generally is we receive a complaint. So either your council person will receive a complaint, or someone in the general public can file a complaint on the TPCG website, or they can call the nuisance and abatement office, and they can go ahead and file a complaint there. And so that's the first part. And then usually within the first 30 days, we send an inspector out that goes ahead and inspects that property and says whether it is dilapidated or it's overgrown or whatever it is that's going on with that structure. These also have to be abandoned structures. So if someone is actually residing in that structure, we don't go through that condemnation process with that. That's kind of a separate process.
Mm-hmm.
But if the structure is dilapidated, or if it's overgrown or abandoned or anything like that, we'll go ahead and start that condemnation process. We'll issue a warning, and that will be within the first 15 days. We'll issue a warning and telling them your property has been subject to this nuisance and abatement process, and we need you to rectify the situation, whether it's cut the grass or whatever it may be. And they may actually at that point call and say, I'm having a hard time, maybe something personal, they can't get it taken care of, and then we can go ahead and put some resources into play to help them with getting whatever that is done.
Mm-hmm.
So usually that rectifies the situation, but if not, we have to kind of go a different route. And typically at that 30-day process, someone has to file for a permit. So they either have to file for a renovation permit, or they have to file for a demolition permit. And that's 2 very different permits.
Mm-hmm.
Your demolition permit, you have 60 days. So from the day you get that permit, you have 60 days to demolish whatever that structure is. The renovation permit, you get a year. So somebody goes and files for a renovation permit to renovate whatever it is. They get a year from the day that they, and that makes it fair,
Yeah.
Martin. So I don't want people to feel. It also, I don't want people to feel like we're just going and tearing down structures or tearing down people's homes.
Right.
I mean, there is a process behind this, and all of this is based on state statute. So we have to follow the law, and so that's kind of why this happens in this way. Now, where it gets, where we in the council get involved is if they haven't complied or they haven't done these things that they're supposed to be doing with those permits. So like I said, they have a demo permit or they have a renovation permit. If they haven't done what they're supposed to be doing, then it will come in front of us, in front of council, and that's those condemnation hearings.
And this sort of helps to even the playing field with everyone, because that way, y'all been out front with this, and now you're really singling out what they need to do. So at this point, they can't say there's nothing in place because, and like you said, it's not just a local issue. You have to follow state guidelines.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that whole process that I just discussed, Martin, it usually takes about a year to get from the time they get a letter until the time it comes to council. So they have a year to really kind of work with parish government or, figure out whatever it is that they need to get done. Sometimes they even come in front of us and they say, we need an extra time with something that's happening. I get a lot of phone calls from my district and people explain to me the situation. And then we definitely work with people. But it takes a little while. And that's why I hear a lot of frustrations. Why isn't this happening quicker? Well, we are processing them, and as you can see, if you watch tonight's meeting, you'll see
Well, in fairness to y'all, because I just got an insurance check well over a year of Ida, so you're right. I mean, these are very tough times, and I'm thinking y'all handle each one of these individually with respect to whoever comes up to you with. Everybody has a unique problem. So what we'll do, let's take a break right now. Once again, we're with the council chairwoman, Jessica Domangue, talking about things happening locally. We'll get into some more of this. We'll finish up this discussion and talk a little bit about some of the council business, although this is big-time council business. Let's talk council. We had an antiquated camera system and voting system, and guess what? I'm going to give Jessica the floor because that's about to change.
Yes.
Exciting time.
It is exciting. So as you knew, we were at the school board office for our past few meetings because they were renovating our system. It was a huge undertaking, but we're back tonight, and so we're very excited. We've all been trained on the new system. It's going to be state of the art. You will be able to see us. You'll be able to hear us, which sounds really funny whenever you're talking about, but we definitely will be able to do that. But one of the big things that you'll notice that's going to be a little bit differently is our voting. And so typically, the chairman or the chairwoman will, say all in favor, aye, any opposed, nay, and we would vote like that. And actually, we are supposed to do a roll call vote, and that's part of our charter. So Section 2.07 of our charter says that we have to roll call vote, and part of our new system is we have voting machines. And so each of us have a voting machine now, and so you'll hear the votes a little bit differently. And so I will call for a vote, and so I will call for all the members to vote on their voting machine, and then I'll ask our council clerk, have all the votes been taken? They'll tell me yes or no, and then I'll close the voting, and then we'll see if whatever it is, motion pass or motion fails. So it really kind of levels the playing field as far as council, and we are going to be voting in the appropriate manner. So that will be something a little bit different.
Yeah, we ought to give a little leeway for the learning process too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I had that conversation today with John Amity. He's vice chairman. There might be some mistakes tonight, especially it's committee, and so all the committee members, they're all going to have their opportunity to get up and learn the new system and be able to take place.
Better to have it happen in committee, right?
Yeah, and so we're expecting a few bumps in the road. When you're learning something, not everything's perfect,
Right.
but it will get there, and it's just part of us moving this parish into the future. And so this is going to be a really exciting time.
Y'all get to ratify or have y'all say so in the new police chief, which has been chosen by the parish president, and Lieutenant Travis Terrio is the pick. He's not former, he's still the police chief. And Dana Coleman has done a fantastic job. But y'all get to either ratify or not ratify the new police chief, right?
Yeah, that'll be on Tuesday night. So we get to ratify or not ratify. I'll keep it a secret, and I don't know what the other guys are going to do.
Yeah.
But no, I think Travis is a really great leader in our parish. I actually met with him a few days ago and talked to him about some things that I'm passionate about and some things that I'd like to see him bring to the table, especially being new in leadership. And I know he's going to be kind of bombarded with those things as well. People are going to be trying to pull him in different directions, but I do feel as though he's very passionate about some of the things that I'm passionate about as far as, mental health and homelessness and things like that. So hopefully we can be a really good team, and we are. We were a great team with Chief Coleman, and so he will be missed, but we are very, very happy to see Travis take this new position.
And I just hope Lieutenant Travis Terrio, soon to be chief, like I told the current chief, Dana Coleman, this morning, I've never got on the news desk 7.5 years, no scandals with him, nothing.
No.
What you saw was what you got, and he was a great leader.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's important for all your leadership. I don't think, and really and truly, we don't have a lot of scandals.
Yeah,
I mean,
things are quiet. Let's keep it that way.
Let's keep it this way. I mean, Terrebonne Parish we are lucky to have so many wonderful leaders in this area. And we surround ourselves with those really positive people. I think that's really important because I can't really even think of a scandal even in the last 10 years of something that would have came up that would have been of. So yeah, we've definitely got good people in good positions.
And that's good for sure.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: we have some on March 25th. That's an important date.
Yes, March 25th. So we, as you know, Mr. John Navy, he had resigned from council, and so we've had Mr. Alvin Tillman in that place just as temporary, and so that election for that council member is actually going to be on March 1st. So you're actually going to start early voting March 11th through 18th, and I believe that might be the only thing that's on the ballot is that. So the only people that are going to vote for that will be the people who live in District 1. However, it will be the new map. So it's going to be off of the new school board map. So make sure if you lived in District 1 before that you check the Go Vote app or you check the Secretary of State website to make sure that you'll be voting because the lines did change. So some people who may have been in District 1 before may not be now, or some people vice versa. If they were in a different district, they may be in District 1 now. So if you live kind of in that Grand Caillou area or kind of that downtown area, definitely check the maps or check the website, see if you're eligible to vote because, voting is so important. And so it's very important that we get really good leadership.
New cameras, new voting mechanisms, new dates, new council person, new chief. Exciting times.
Exciting times for Terrebonne Parish.
New chairwoman.
New chairwoman. And we got another big new coming up, too, so we'll be excited about that, too.
All right. Well, there you go. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you on the next go-around with some positive news here in Terrebonne Parish. All right. We will take a short break. We'll be back with a lot more right here on Bayou Time and HTV. Once again, all of these segments can be seen on Facebook and YouTube. And we continue to grow our audience on both of those, sometimes exceeding 100,000 per week. So thank you. We'll be right back.